it going, everybody? This is the Fiery Joker, and Arama the Fiery Secretary, and Corey the very, very annoying doggo.
Because she keeps stealing his seat.
Alright, so we're going to try and do some more reactions again. Sometimes it's just going to be solo, either of us. Sometimes it's going to be both of us, depending on what it is. But we are doing a reaction right now to Fawful's Minions top 18 Pokemon types.
Because I love Pokemons, and I really want to support my Logie.
Alright, so just need to just need to get this done, and I need to quickly get the doggo out of the way.
Luckily, he usually has a theme song. So, come here.
Alright. Let's see this. Alright.
Is that a monster in your pocket? Or are you just itching for a battle? No running now. Seems like forever since Mr. Bean Bean poked his head out for the pokes in a big way. Oh, you got no idea what I've stocked in store for you. But let's start with the smaller big. Types are huge, massive, a D-Max Wailord of a topic that spiritually scissor holds all that is the world of Pokemon. Got your favorites?
I got all those references.
Me too. Let's keep the blood off the screen this time, huh? Something this
Oh,
thick
what? Are we
gotta
playing
make
a PETA
room
game?
for a couple notes. Rank criteria is complicated, but the general points are battle properties, designs, personal impact and appeal, and lots of various little things.
Oh, dear God,
Judgment
contest.
will obviously be passed on the current Generation 8 form, which obviously
You didn't
means
like
no
contests?
mystery or shadow type.
I
And
liked
that
them in the
script.
original one.
Run with the
But
intimidate set.
As
Boy,
it went
girl,
further,
none
it turned into
don't
musicals
matter.
and
The
stuff like that.
science
The
that's
contests
forever
required a
welcome
lot of
all
strategy,
types.
but then when
Yeah.
it turned into musicals, I'm like,
now.
why am I doing this?
Yeah.
Alright, his least favorite type.
Look, up in the sky! Is it a bird?
Is it playing? No, it's both. Sounds like a pretty nice way of saying
I
flying.
do kind of
Doesn't
see
do
what he's
so
talking
over
about.
my
They are kind of
wildest
bland.
dreams. One of the greatest evolutionary powers on Earth. Being able to leave it is one of unusual magnitude in the world we actually want to live
Being
in.
able
I
to
find
leave
that
it,
by
I
and
love it.
large, the type of the sky is the least creative breed.
Amen.
Way too commonly following the outline of literally flying animal soundtrack to nigh universal dual typing, flying very often struggles to perch alone.
Yeah, it
Poignant
doesn't
that
usually
it functions best as a
solo.
flock, but forgive me
Yeah,
for
that is
not being
that is
moved
true.
by the Pokemon equivalent
Even then,
of pigeons
it's like
in
it's
the
a lot
park.
of times it's paired with like
Granted,
normal type.
that makes them adorable.
I mean, it does give them
smart,
extra
and bring out a
stab.
familiar
Yeah.
comfort in all the
but-
surrounding insanity. The designs are incredibly straightforward, and you're never gonna have to ask, what the hell is that? It's a bird, dumbass. That's most
mean,
of
to
what
be
it is,
fair,
really. Birds,
I kind of
aerial
asked that with
reptiles,
Dodrio.
drifters, and masters
How is that
of
a
the
bird?
wind. Their simple
There's no wing.
schematics are often our first
Yeah,
booster
it's-
seat in
I guess,
understanding the
they were
crazier
going for,
stuff
like,
in
a
this series,
double-headed ostrich or
especially
something.
considering how
Roadrunner
many
or something.
early
Yeah.
routers and legendaries are actually a part of this family. With my favorite being Staraptor, Sigilith, and the
psychic flying,
forces of
your
nature.
favorite.
While looking to birds
Lugia is
so
my favorite
heavily for the
legendary.
designs got a little too reliable. It's fun to consider how they fare against the elements. With their widespread diet of insects and propensity to piss off gardeners, their offensive ace over grass and bug are hilariously dead on.
True.
Although fighting, what, Mike Tyson can't beat Tyson chicken strips? Oh right, birds don't got ears. Their vulnerability to cold weather and shoddy power lines is just one stone.
To be
knocking
fair,
out
though,
two of
try
them, though.
punching.
You could say
Punching
it's
a
for the
bird is hard,
birds.
okay, dude?
Oh, but if you thought all this downplaying would be carried
Oh
by
man,
pigeon to
okay, the
offense,
the
well,
new
say it with me
legendaries
now.
fan.
Plentiful and specialized, the aerial assassins of Poke Earth strike with an offensive privilege of a rich racist falcon, dominating the speed stat and neutral hitting 80% of all types at worst, combined with complete immunity to ground. Flying is actually one of the safest offensive types in
pretty
the
much.
entire meta. Reliable stab and powerful support
That's the
moves
thing about
in
Pokemon
defog
types.
and
It's just
tailwind,
all
paired
you
with
can
the
say is just
common
that some
sweeper
types are just
stats of
not
their
as
ranks.
good as others.
Love Hitchcock. Trusty buzzards.
I mean, a lot of them are still good, a lot of them are still useful,
Love them
just
in
some are
fights,
just not
but
as good.
sadly
Like
nowhere
Ice,
else.
unfortunately,
What
defensively.
was born to soar over all others winds up swooping down for handout numbers.
Oh yeah, Togekiss is a
Wholesomely and
beefy
day-making.
flying type.
So,
And Corviknight's pretty darn good, too.
Yeah,
I
Talonflame
do
Talonflame was a cool addition as well.
Yeah. I do wish he had pointed out what his favorite Pokemon per type. Yeah, normal. There, I saw that coming.
the
If he
ultimate
didn't like
on the
flying,
scene, the
normal was
type
gonna
is
go in
also
there.
ultimate in ass-making.
Oh, yes!
Who's it gonna be?
Oh, yes!
You or me? Trying my best
Let me
here.
give the tea on this pink-haired
Thankfully,
bee.
they are
Okay,
too.
no.
Despite the social label, normals are low-key one of the weirdest types in all of mankind. Some animals are clear examples where God
Brag.
said, that's good enough.
I've always
Kinda
wondered
the
what
same thing here,
What the heck
only God
Dunsparce was
chanted
supposed
in
to
the
be.
mirror.
Yeah,
Just
I
one
always
look,
wondered why
and you're
Dunsparce never
certain
evolved.
You've got the picture down packed. But when it
Smeargle's
actually comes
funny.
time to ask, what is normal? Well, that's poetically
What is
awkward.
normal?
My
Okay,
specialty,
did
normal
Fawful's
types appear
Minion just ask that
emblematic of the
question?
link between ordinary and
Savali!
extraordinary, showcasing that everyday dream of a one-in-a-millionaire, unwittingly harboring an amazing energy they were always told they couldn't.
Aw, poor
Inspiringly
Tito.
so,
Yeah.
they were wrong. I mean, please, do humor me. Reading into exactly why the hell the boring type could possibly wield more elements than the ones they're spiritually demeaned by.
Yeah.
It's moving. Look, fat-ass narcoleptic teddy bears farting earthquakes and sneezing blizzards.
True.
Ain't normal. That bastard has talent, and nobody believed in him. You could be that bastard. I could be that bastard. I am that bastard. I'm in love with what the normal type symbolizes. That even the common
I
are
loved
special.
those
Though I guess
those
ideas
episodes
aren't
with
quite the
Snorlax
same
where
as
it's just like,
reality,
how would
and that really
just seeing
shows in a fight.
Snorlax
The white
mobility,
bread of the Pokemon
like and how fast
food
it could
chain
swim.
boasts morbid nutrition
Yeah,
facts,
Snorlax
the
is-
lowest of all
yeah,
average
Snorlax is a
stat
terrifying
totals,
Pokemon in the
zero
anime.
winning offensive matchups,
even in the games
and
too, especially
resisting
with that Z move.
absolutely nothing. Holy erect, beaver
Excuse
nipples
you,
that
it resists
sucks
ghosts.
full charge timer balls. Props for
least I'm
variety in the
pretty
move
darn
pool.
sure it
I'm a
resists
sucker
ghosts.
for support moves. That pass
Ghost
kick
moves don't
ass.
affect normals,
But this is
So
the
it
type of
so it resists
God.
ghosts.
Damn, he really does love and tolerate all. Except when you punch him. Don't punch him. And don't punch cute little animals. Because most normal types are literal playing ass animals, jerk. They unfortunately share the same oversimplified aura that flying types often give. For that reason, it
Touch the
commonly
Bidoof.
pairs with them.
The Bibarel. I
But it
remember when
shines
that
real
came out,
bright
the
whenever it
internet was
breaks
just
through.
so
Greetings,
upset.
Reggie Gigas, Porygon Z,
I
Lopunny,
think-
Snorlax,
No.
Silvally.
I just remember
Can't
in
get enough of
Jaden
them.
Animation's
Especially
Pokemon Ranger
my
video.
little
Touch the
baby.
Bidoof.
And hugs to you,
Yeah,
normies.
I think the
Though it's
Gen
exactly what the
Oneer
hateful
opinion,
hate,
like the
both
Gen
your
1er
best
curse was just
and
kind of
worst
at its peak
ain't
during
never
Gen
hurt
4 and Gen
nobody.
5.
Especially since Gen 5 didn't have like any previous Pokemon in the first main games. Water this low? Well,
In my
this is
effort
something
to
we
corner
differ
the
on
lucrative market
highly.
of bottled
Curious to
tears,
see
I
his
forgot that it
reasoning.
takes no effort at all. Just take water, pour it into a bottom 3 spot, and watch the salt magically appear. Water, by an abyssal margin, is my least favorite of the starter types. By proxy of being by far the most common, Game Freak's Grand
Yeah.
Aquarium has a distractingly awkward quality to quantity ratio. The honestly annoying
Okay, I'll give him
fact
that too.
1 in every 6 Pokemon ever created pack 2 hydrogen atoms with every breath they take. Damn, Noah! Didn't even let us get on board. I'm getting all nostalgic, bitching about something beloved and widespread like old times. But as the original poster of the too much water meme, forgive me for just being a teensy bit aquaphobic. Water is clearly king amongst the brain children for its frankly overwhelming quantity and low-key forced defensive quality. Clever chemistry is partially forfeited with the favorite starter child's battle
Battle
properties,
Revolution,
taking
that one.
poison and ice very well despite the real-life element being the easiest thing on Earth to pollute and freeze. This, among other mindless balancing, frustratingly gives water
I have
types
always wondered
far
why
more
ice did not resist
defense
water.
than logic
Yeah.
would like, totaling to an often boring, tanky playstyle on the most common type in the game. If not that, just blast the stupid air breathers
that's one
with
thing I've
zero
noticed. A
IQ
lot of water types are
tsunamis in a
tanky.
can. Hello, Kyogre, Araquanid, Dracovish, and the entire Gen 5 OU tier. I thought water was literally incapable of tasting flat. Harsh to say,
Yeah.
the exhausting simplicity
water
makes them my
psychics.
least favorite to
The only
battle
one I can
with.
think of off
As
the top of
amount
my
of
head
dynamic,
is Bruxish.
interesting
And
strategies Rain can offer are ripped to
Which
shreds
I think
by the
I think
dozens of
Starmie was
king-size
not
water
supposed to be
beds
water
and
psychic. I
unmanned
think
fire
Golduck and
hoses.
Psyduck were supposed
So,
to be.
I've been
Yeah.
kind of a
Something
dick.
went wrong
This
there.
is all just my fighting preference. As the handful of water types I do thoroughly enjoy training keep the still admirable offensive chemistry the type does
Pond.
nail.
James
Eroding
Pond.
rocks and dirt, putting out fires, as well as conducting electricity and feeding plants. That's fun. And because there's so goddamn many of them, it's not hard at all to find one to fall in love with. My affinity for marine life does reserve a soft spot for the roster's better designs. Primarina, Blastoise, Kabutops, Ludicolo, Floatzel, Clawitzer, Swampert, Jellicent. Any one of them is worth a million
Sorry,
love
you
disc
know me and my
Bruxish
phobia of
Basculin.
fish with
Drinking
large
the og
teeth.
was boring
Large
sometimes,
fish with large teeth.
but for all that breath, I couldn't breathe. It's comforting to know that some of it was taken away.
You shovel.
Ground. Yeah.
Finally, okay. I'm with you on this one. Ground is not my favorite
Well, the
type.
tears start flowing and they don't stop coming. Dead to the trolls and I hit the ground running. For dear life. Straight from your eyes and onto the soil.
Didn't
What
make
I
sense
predict to
until
be
it was
many
fun.
drops
Bring
of
it down, but
sadness.
take it down.
Clearly
So much
coming
to
from
do, so
Team
much to be,
Aqua.
so much
You
to
lost
take it,
towards
thanks,
man. Twice. Hail Groudon and the landlord from hell. Ground types. Rain over rain. Don't I feel dirty for saying that? That's good. Since second base is
Landlord,
getting
lol.
buried alive. The series that gave a McFlurry a face did right on sense, making the literal Earth type a force of nature. Nothing
Yeah,
pinches the nerves.
I don't know what it
quite
is
like
about
a
Fawful's
well-raised
Minion.
child
It's
of
just
Terra.
like
The
his
5
metaphor
super
game
effective
and simile
matchups
games
every
are
one of
like
them is
on
born
another
with.
tier.
Does disgusting work
As
to
an
effortlessly
English
cull
major, I quite
37%
appreciate it.
of the free world. Where do you think the
Like,
word
sometimes I will
terrifying got
pause
its
his
upper half
videos to
from?
dissect
This
it like
makes
I
ground
would a
types an
poem.
unfortunate
It's
for us
wonderful.
favorite of tryhards everywhere, but fortunately so as one of the common folks' strongest stress killers. Just like bullies kicking sand in a nerd's eyes, the nerds take great schadenfreude in bullying with the dozer. It's a very stupid, angry type. Though it still manages to ace chemistry every year, shattering continental rock and steel buildings via earthquakes, deionizing all circuitry, choking campfires with soil, and removing toxins with medicinal clay. It's easy to forget how smart the element actually is when all Pokemon teaches it is hit good. Dumb as dirt, huh? Well, that's kind of my problem. Ground is so one note, it can't even compose for an Atari game. Being
Oh.
anti-support with its garbage status
How does he
move
come up
pool,
with this
and being
stuff?
so physically oriented that it
It
deadass
takes him a
feels like
while.
you're playing
That's why
a Gen
sometimes
3
it takes
game.
him a little bit, you know,
Sweet
to
Lord, shoot
Yeah,
produce
dust.
stuff.
Don't
weirdly, I
wear
kind
it.
of want to see him
Not
and
the
Razorfist
best
have a
crowd
metaphor
to go
off.
to for emotional help. I really have to be in the mood to use grounds because the type just doesn't
Right?
cover enough of itself.
Like, oh my
Pisses me
gosh,
off,
I've
too.
had to
The
actually
designs are
push
sick
myself to
across
use
the
ground
board.
types
Palossand,
recently.
Groudon, Landorus, Sandaconda, Excadrill,
Sandaconda
Golett,
I've used.
Crocodile.
I also
I
used
wish Earthquake
Runerigus,
wasn't
which was actually
95% of your
quite
guys'
interesting.
stab.
And
Just goes to show
I've
that even
oh,
the literal
but
breakers
the ground
of the
type
ground
that I will always
can
pick,
struggle to be groundbreaking.
Palossand, is like legit. He is one of my favorite ground types of all time, bar none.
Psychic.
Dem's fighting
At the
placements.
center of every extraordinary
Yeah, a lot of
idea
these
rests
these
an
are
energy
fighting
fated
placements,
to move
boy.
All that can't. And as the coolest
you,
idea
me, we
ever
gonna have
dreamt,
words.
Pokemon's been telekinetically moving us all with energy unmatched since the very beginning.
But also,
The
excellent
tale of
choice for the
psychic
music for
type
this
is
spot.
a Greek tragedy that actually has witnesses. The original Titan hailed from an unprecedented age of mystic domination, where gods carried
yeah.
spoons. ESP doesn't ordinarily stand for explosive shit. production, but consult any RBY veteran for a free shiny muck. Never before has a single force commanded so much awe, and for what felt like so long, from being the strongest
This is
thing
why I don't play
RPG
Gen 1
history
anymore.
to flooding
Like,
the
I will
highest
go play the
ranks of
remakes or
Pokemon
whatever, but I
etymology
do
to
not
being
touch the originals.
only breed to stake
I still
a
have
claim
the
in
cartridges,
Ubers
though.
every
Yeah.
single generation. Psychics project unreal emotional energy,
Yep.
some of the highest of any
Yeah.
type.
Yep.
And as I stated in Top 10 Geniuses, it's an especially engaging class of speculative fiction.
Yep.
The brain as a chief weapon against the forces of infinity, taming chaos, expelling the elements, seizing all physics with your noggin. G.I. Joe is
Yeah.
onto something, and in a world where knowing is all the battle, big heads make dead. Proficiency in martial smarts rewards you
Martial
with ridiculously safe offense.
How does he come up with this
Phenomenal
stuff?
support coverage, your own priority blocking battle terrain, and some of
Poor
the most
Rockwell.
clever battle chemistry of any type. Psychic's weakness in bug, dark, and ghost, as well as the strength against poison and
Are you afraid of the
fighting,
dark?
embodies
Are you afraid of
emotion
spiders?
and invention,
Are you afraid of the
possessing
dead?
fears of creepy
Makes
crawling,
sense.
the
It's all
wicked unknown,
fear-based.
and spiritual superstition. Meanwhile, inventing cures for disease and conquering dum-dums in chess. Yes, yes, geniuses! Combined with their average mastery of both special stats, it's a hell of a package. All that amazing praise. Where's the amazing placement? Well, truth be told, the designs ain't exactly it. Most of the ones I love have mostly their other type to thank for it, and honestly, many of the pures are pretty basic and lack visual flair compared to other types.
Yeah,
also,
I've always
like
wondered what the
flying,
frick is
Psychic
Masharna's
feels more
deal.
like a compliment to other types than it does stand its own. I'm married more to the idea than the form, though Necrozma, Mewtwo, Mew, Behemoth, Reuniclus, and Deoxys are still my boys. Roll your third eyes all you want. The magic
I don't
lives
know. It's
on,
just like
with
Gardevoir was
and without
mono-psychic for a
believers.
while.
Yeah. Yeah.
Boy, we got some problems.
Does this count as character development? Take it confidently from one of the earliest
Fire
YouTube
and Psychic
instigators of
that
Pokemon
low.
fans.
Below
They don't
rock.
blow cool air.
Right?
Since being
Right?
her
Boy.
50th time, I'm confident
You know,
myself
considering the fact that
there
his
lies a
complaints about, you know,
fire
water
type
and stuff like
inside
that,
each of
I'm
us.
wondering
I've
why
always
he didn't put
chronicled
rock
fire as this
lower.
overrated
Because, like,
element that
most of them are
belongs under
just
a blanket.
chunks of rock.
Hey, Californian. It's basically our grass.
Yeah,
Right?
Once
Yes,
again, the
California!
game of monsters
Forest
in
fires
the park
everywhere!
is a
Yeah, and
persuasive
considering he was
You'd be
like,
body
you know,
pressed by
complaining
Corviknight
about,
to find a
you know,
cozier
psychic
type than the
designs
one
only
that
have like
literally
one
keeps
design.
you
It's like,
warm. Once started,
rock?
fire burns
Yeah,
as long
maybe he
as
just
you
likes
let
the
it.
selection
And despite
better?
some
I don't know.
acrimony towards
I
the
don't know.
absurdly dedicated firefighters, few trainers willfully put it out.
I don't know,
Probably
we're just being
because
salty.
Despite igniting rocket
Very
fuel,
salty.
fire types ain't rocket
On the bright
science.
side,
One of
my
the
fairy type
brashest
hasn't shown up yet, so
badasses
I'm
in
happy.
offensive play. The nigh universally high speed and attack literally burned the honchos of hot into the minds of sweep freaks everywhere. You know, I can't be clever for every sentence. Y'all got some rage problems. The old mouse, burn it.
I mean,
Round pimple,
you usually are.
cheeseburger, burn it. Puppy, burn it. Orphanage, burn it. Puppy orphanage, burn it. That's how Growlithe are born. Look, it's orange devil jizz. Blue if he ain't so lucky. It ain't gonna balance your checkbook. Simple science, too. Just torch and melt things that are easy to torch and melt. True, simplicity's part of the fun, and it turns singles matches into baked Alaska. But it's also a disappointment. Fire's pretty much just the ground type if it had good defensive properties and coverage for both attacking stats. Gives a lot more offensive variety to pump into your kindled kin, and at least their two support moves, Will-O-Wisp and Sunny Day, add great dynamism in the shape of a trademark anti-punchback debuff and versatile weather. Kind of an arsonist's dream. Not exactly my dream, though some of the designs definitely came from them. Cinderace, Delphox, Blaziken, Talonflame, Heatran, Colossal, Magmortar. While not always my jam, I've come to really treasure what devotees of pyromania headbang to. It's the fire dancer's oath. Every blast of love both begins and ends in flames.
All right, number 12.
All
We're only
right.
getting up to 10 today. Steel Below Rock 2.
I don't know if
Steel
it's a true
Below
title
Rock.
of honor to be crowned Master of
If
Hard,
Rock is number
but
one,
rest
I'm gonna
assured
cry,
and spam
dude.
the holy hell, you're still Master
No, I
of
think it's
something.
electric, to be
I have
honest.
a confusing
Yeah, I'd
relationship with the
probably
steel
be
type.
surprised if it wasn't
Confusing
electric.
for you.
Yeah, 'cause
Assuming you
Tapu
know
Koko,
me, you'd think
I
I'd
remember how
worship
much he
steel,
loves Tapu
seeing
Koko.
how goddamn
Tapu Koko,
robot
and just,
crazy
like,
I am. Sure, but
finding
steel
bad
is just
electric
their
types
skin.
is-
And of course, my
I mean,
PBS
I will
lesson of
give
the
it that
week
the
ass will
designs
tell you that
kind of
don't
get a little
mean
samey.
squat.
They're almost
The
all
kings
yellow
of
in some way,
carbonated
shape, or
iron
form.
Sure as hell rule like one.
but-
As personally the second strongest type of every generation it's in, steel always
Ugh,
felt
Metagross,
like a super weapon,
that thing is
specially
so
designed
freaking hard to take down.
deathmatch the gods
Steven's
in
Metagross,
any
that was
form they
awful.
came in, as even they themselves were manufactured as the supreme demons of defense, resisting 10 types and nullifying one at its absolute weakest. The robot's inability to sweat lives on in these dense muckers. You know, most people that build a super weapon at least try to hide it. 11 types. 11 suck against steel. This, of course, means that wearing this mental metal is a declaration of war, because it's a neon sign to the
And yet
world
it
that you
can
were
be
literally
felled by a
built
punch.
for it.
Yeah.
I
Being
still
that
think that's
hard has
funny.
its pleasures. Thank
I wonder
you,
why
Gen Z
fighting is
joke
good against
gods.
dark.
But it also means everything
Like, 'cause if the
else is
psychic
charm
ones are
and
afraid of
soft.
the dark,
It's night
do you punch
easy
the dark?
mode, even
I
in
think
the
that-
one
I
place
think
where
in
it's
Japan- in
supposed
Japan,
to be a
uh,
challenge.
evil type?
Because
Yeah.
taking that damn
Still-
much
Fighting,
passively
like, is
throws
disciplined
a ton
against
of
evil,
strategy
Maybe.
out.
I guess.
It's even immune to poison and sandstorm.
Yeah, Dark is also a
and
really
that's
good type,
not
in my opinion.
representative
So,
of
I-
the
wonderful.
detailed
I
complexity
Dark
and
and Ghost have,
application that
have quickly
machines
risen up the
have.
ranks of
It's
some
like
of my favorite
technology.
types.
Why
Yeah.
learn or do anything yourself when one button does it for you? Combined with surprisingly relevant offensive properties and low status move pool, using them in battle gets a little old sometimes.
Yes.
So why is it not bottom 5? Because everything else is epic. Top of the line chemistry, killing pixies with iron, picking through ice, drilling through stone, robots uprising, human intelligence, giant mechs kicking kaiju ass, iron ore melting in a heated forge, synthetic metal blocking biological toxins.
Does
It's
make sense.
so inspired, and a roster with so many heavy hitters.
Well, to be
Cortana,
fair, some-
Metal, Corviknight,
to be fair,
Empoleon,
some acids would
Metagross,
eat through
Aggron,
metal.
Yeah.
Aegislash,
Hydrofluoric
Mega
acid, for
Mawile,
example.
Bisharp, Magnezone. Forget about it. And while I generally don't prefer Steel's hyper-tanking style, the power trip factor can be exactly what I need in a certain pinch. One to my
Cliffy!
enemy's nerve.
I did think it was actually a very interesting thing that Fairy is weak to steel and poison. Love this song, it's so good.
Moths of matchless menace.
See, actually, I would've put
Domination
Dragon
of the
lower.
devil
I'm not a
unchained.
fan.
And Fusra, damn.
So I'm
so
just happy it didn't make top 10.
Power meets a fighting heart through the voice.
Doesn't
that
make up for
tames it,
water and Psychic being
arriving
that low, though.
in the shape
Or fire.
of a dragon. The longest standing of the dreaded Titans. The dawn of Draconian Dominion feels like it was only yesterday, where a mighty lizard was revered as a king's weapon. Dragon types charm a great many the world over, deeply enough for me to confidently acclaim them the most popular of all. And the true reason why spawns goosebumps of Arthurian caliber. Ancient tales of runic reptiles unknown was one of the
Yeah,
world's
dragons are
first
usually very
cravings
much the
for
legend-
life beyond
most
life.
often
The
legendary
familiar
types.
warmth of a fellow critter
Either,
meeting with the epic image.
I
of
I
just
will
about
give you
any
the fact that
almighty
Dragonair is
form
gorgeous.
our being
Oh,
could
yeah.
But then it
fathom.
evolves into-
Wise, cute,
Durr.
badass.
I was gonna say
godlike,
teddy bear
symbolic,
dragon derp, but
hazardous, wish-granting, priceless companionship, boundless wonder, interpretive dread, blasting the boundaries between real
Giratina's
and
so
fake
cool.
apart, and bringing us closer to the crux of nature. dragons were the original
Blip.
Pokemon.
Blim.
And that same magical breed of imagination is something we all take with us upon every boot up.
Guzzlord
It's
freaks me
magic.
out, not gonna
It's
lie.
fantasy. It's why we train.
Yeah,
Or
I
you could
always
just
thought
be
that
amazed
episode
at a
with the
dinosaur's
lighthouse was
vomiting
weird
ice.
because, you know,
Fair.
you could clearly
Well,
see
barely.
Dragonite,
Yeah,
and
that's
even
the other thing about
Mewtwo in
dragon
Bill's little
types.
list
They
of Pokemon.
strong even after the
And
advent of
for
fairy.
one, and
These
two,
scaly
like,
blowtorches are
Dragonite
insanely
is-
strong. The absolute peak of
Dragonites are
average
not that
base
big.
stat totals. The ancient traditions carry strong.
I mean, of course, there are
thanks
some
to
that
the
are
type's
probably, like, the
commanding role
mutants.
in legend and pseudo-legend. But
Gudra's
I
pretty
kind
good,
of love
actually,
how
not
much
gonna lie.
sense it makes, since we've been dressing them up as cold-blooded Jesuses before Jesus. So you have my faith. I can't say they're terribly interesting battlers, though. Dragons'
No,
offensive
thank
properties
you.
are almost
Jeez,
as bland as normals, and
like-
they're very shallow status move pools paired with
I
their
re-
very common template of all-out God. It's too
All-out
safe.
God, I
Not
love
very
that.
spicy for fire-breathing reptiles. The chemistry
I don't know, I've
mixed
just
too.
never-
The resistances feel like they were picked by dartboard,
See,
but
for
I
me,
do
I'm
like
like,
the
oh,
basis for
another
fairy,
generation.
steel, and itself. Godzilla gets clapped by Tinkerbell.
How many
and who
dragon
else but
legendaries do we get this
Mechagodzilla
time?
And another kaiju to give him a good fight.
It's just how I feel
Love it.
sometimes.
And I love these
I
designs.
like that they've been
Dragons
sort of
are either ridiculously
slowly
badass
peeling
or
them
ridiculously
back.
cute, with almost
But-
no in between.
er.
Gudra, Ultra Necrozma, Flygon, Latias, Palkia, Tyrantrum, Garchomp, Hydreigon, Rayquaza,
the Garchomp.
Zygarde, Regidrago. Woo-hoo-hoo, the Scalies
I actually
have
haven't
it
played
good.
with the new Reggies. Like I said, I still need to get the DLC. Alright, number 10. This is the last one for this list. Well,
You ever been out skipping rocks on a pond
Okay,
with some
so what's
friends
left?
and all of them sinking on the
My-
first
Rock
skip
above
because they just
dragon.
didn't put the
I
heart
mean, I'm
into
okay
it?
with it.
Well,
Dragon would
in
be my
comes the
18.
deeply disappointed wingman swinging 20 skips into the
And
sunset.
that
The
is, of
bane
course,
of all
so very
scissors, the
biased placement
Pokemon
on my
world,
part.
Swiss Army sleeper figures that Earth's unpoppable pimples would warrant tons of
Unpoppable
nap time
pimples.
on them. They were man's first pillow. But I'm fed up with that Stone Age view, playing with rocks. Yes, it
I
sure
love your
does.
noises,
Literally
Logan. You're
paving
just the best.
epic path of dynamic offense that ground should have. The most boring thing ever in real life turns out the complete
The most
opposite
boring
in
thing
fake
ever in real life.
Rock's matchup spread is hilarious.
Okay, so
being defensively
what's left?
partial
Fairy,
to
ghost,
the
dark,
universe,
grass.
all the while utterly plowing a third
Electric,
of it and
poison.
still
Poison.
hitting a hacked mod
Bug,
of every type
ice,
at once hard.
Bug.
Without
Oh.
a doubt, the most
And
volatile
we're missing one
and
more.
chaotic type. Most call it torture. I call it hype. There's a massive risk-reward thrill in
Very-
using this
Fighting.
insane
Fighting.
type for any
Okay.
length. It's
So we
infamous
know where
propensity
they're-
to choke
we just
on
have no idea
quad-core
where.
crotch
I know
kicks
ice
before
and
the starting
bug are
whistle's
going to be
even
very
lit.
high
Feels
up
like
because those
brimstone
are. He
bazookaed
said
into your
before that those are
balls,
two of his
sure,
favorites
but
in
you
the
can't
Frostmoth
tell
entry
me. Finally,
from,
crushing cucks with
top
your Wile E.
10,
Coyote BS doesn't
yeah.
Gen 8
force teach
Pokemon.
you
I see
harden.
you there, Logan.
Rock
I watch your stuff.
thrives
Yeah,
on
I'm
setup,
actually surprised
despite
that
the
Bug
average
is so,
stats
well,
being dumb as a
considering
box in
Bug is
itself.
so high,
Thanks in
considering it's just like
spades
there
to the
aren't a
upper
lot
and
of.
lower
I mean, there are some
mantle
great
of
ones,
its
but
normally
in comparison to a lot of other
crusty
types, there just really are
Sandstorm and
not a
Stealth
lot.
Yes,
Rock,
but it's
the
also
absolute
personal bias.
slowest
Okay,
of
fair
all
enough.
types becomes almighty
Because this is
vanguard
not
for
necessarily
both
top
weather
18
and
best
entry
types.
hazards.
Top
The
18 favorites.
incredible
Yeah.
influence of stealth rocks, deadass silos the meta into several continents of
Stealth
varying
Rock is so
privilege,
evil.
taxing its extremely common elemental prey instantly upon entry, cutting the poor thing's battle budget as high
Like,
as
if you have a
50%.
if you
Pricks and
use
so
Stealth
break
Rock,
my
don't bring out a
bones.
bug
Meanwhile,
flying, you will die
Sandstorm
almost
eventually
instantly.
crowned Rock as the leading force of nature and secret kings of special defense. There are so many abilities, so many different strategies weaponized by the Rock type's signature weather. They're all fun to use. Sandville, the chemistry's ace too. Stone squishing bugs, killing birds 2 for 1. pebbles shattering glass, and tectonic plates suppressing magma. The cheeky bastards knew well to make the rosters solid. Rhyperior, Crustal, Lycanroc, Stonejourner, Minior, Tyranitar, every
Crustal's
pre-Galar
really cool.
fossil Pokemon. Literal pop rocks to my tastes. My only beef is their near universal
I actually
physical
really like
affinity,
Crustle.
just like
Like,
ground,
I've used
and
it
their
in Gen
core
5, and
instability
it was
isn't always
really
the
good.
move. Probably explains why Rock
Actually,
is the
it had a really
only
good
type
feature,
to
too. I
have
just got
never
lucky.
had a true Uber's rep. The pet rock does nothing, huh? Dinosaurs said the same thing. Gotta retreat for now.
wow.
But I'll strike
So
back
why
with
isn't
the
Rock
equally
good against
huge
Dragon,
part 2
huh?
soon. I implore you to subscribe, click that bell, and for
That really
God's
should be a
sake, turn
thing.
on all
I'm sorry, it really
notifications.
should.
If I've gotten you hooked here, bring your max revives. It's gonna get City Dark Isle up in this bitch. See ya then.
Go watch his Unmasked stuff. The Majora Unmasked one is really interesting. It's a very, very in-depth look at Majora. So, obviously we have fighting words.
Yeah. That's one way of putting it.
You're very lucky I don't know where you sleep, Logan.
Yeah, fire and psychic. That low?
Mhm.
Are you kidding me?
See, okay, so I'm gonna kind of spoil. My favorite types are Psychic, Fairy, Water, Ghost, and Dark. 2 of them were low. 3 of them have not been used yet. So I am looking forward to it. However, his 2 favorite types are Fire and Psychic. This is not the face of happy.
Does this look like the face of mercy to you?
Well, there's no need to wonder where your thought is, because he's right here. He's right here. Anyways, so.
But yeah, we know it's a favorites list, like bloggity blog.
Oh no, wait! It says top 18 Pokemon types.
Yeah, and so, yeah, we know this is favorite list. So yeah, 18.
Are you sure it's? Are you sure it's a favorites list? It doesn't say favorites.
I think it's implied that it's a favorites list.
Okay. I'll have to ask.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like, I don't know. It just it's like beneath all those like very verbose colloquialisms and metaphors and similes, there weren't a lot of arguments. Like a lot of like super big like statistical logical. It seemed like a lot of them seemed to be more like.
No, we kind of
Emotional.
talked over some of those. He was talking about status moves as well as stat boosting and weather moves.
Well, yeah, it's just I feel like there's more he could have, like gone into, like especially it's
He
like
did talk about stats too.
I know, but it's just like if you throw more numbers up on the screen, that's usually a more persuasive argument if you're trying to so that's why this seems to me to be more like a favorites list rather than, trying to be actually factual.
True. Yeah, because if we are going by like the factual stuff, then I think
Bug would probably be lower.
Yeah. And Psychic would probably be a little bit higher because I think Psychic has some of the highest stat totals in the game. Hello, Mega Mewtwo.
Yeah. Yeah, or also probably Dragon would also be up there as well.
Mm-hmm.
We're going
Poison and Poison would be a lot lower because it's only good against 2 types.
Yeah.
And even then, it was only good against 2 types as of Generation 6.
Yeah, I feel like bug types need a bit of a boost.
They do. They did get a huge boost in Gen 5, but
Yeah,
they haven't really.
Then they just kind of dropped off the face of the
And
earth again.
I don't know.
I mean, there were some.
Volcarona, like, okay, you could have a really boss team if you have this team. Volcarona, Araquanid, Ribombee.
Ribombee!
What is Black Panther's favorite Pokemon?
Ribombee! Oh, we're awful. But please don't crucify us, Twitter.
Anyways, so Volcarona, Araquanid, Ribombee, Orbeetle. Has there been a Bug Dark type? Wouldn't that be nice, though?
All right. Well.
Is there a Bug Electric? Oh, yes, there is. So,
Yeah, don't think-
Galvantula.
Yeah.
So Volcarona, Araquanid, Galvantula, Orbeetle, Ribombee.
But yeah.
There's one more. We did. Oh, Shedinja.
Yeah.
And so basically, you make a team with that and do like one of those bug type runs that people like to do sometimes. Bam, you could actually probably get through the game. Because, you know, Araquanid would take care of fire types. Galvantula would take care of flying. Araquanid would probably also take care of rock. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Those are the big weaknesses. And then Volcarona would take care of the steel for, you know, Ribombee. You would be able to cover each other's weaknesses. Especially Shedinja, who, because of Wonder Guard.
Yep. But yes, that was our reaction to Top 18 Pokemon Types Part 1. Thank you all for joining us on this reaction. But can't wait for it. It's like a stick around, subscribe for more. Have a lovely, lovely
And we
day.
will be reacting to Part 2 because I promised a certain somebody, certain little green somebody.
Yes. Take care.